What's up, everyone? Good morning. It is Gabby Trades here, and welcome back to the channel. Well, alts are on discount, aren't they? Well, the record highs were erased in the beginning of the week, showing the market hype was what? Just a hype, at least for now. Let's review all of this, but before we jump in, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and click the small bell notification so you never miss my live breakdowns. Good morning, everyone. So, what happened yesterday? All right, let's relax. What happened yesterday? So we had Ethereum dropped almost 10%, which erased the pump from the Fed. Now, we also had Dow Jones dropping about 349 points. That's about 0.8%, which is pretty much a retreat from a record high that we reached on Friday, if you guys remember. Now, if we go ahead and look, I don't think everyone's here. I started a little bit early today. Maybe my bad. Let's see what's happening over here. But should I do another post? I don't know. Let me do Discord real quick. We'll do Discord, another one over here. Come to the live. Come to the live. Okay, good. Yeah, we're gonna start picking up in a little bit. Shall we do? Yeah, okay, cool. We're picking up on people. That's good. So first of all, like I said, Dow Jones erased 350 points after we got the highs, the record highs. Ethereum erased around 10%. So the interesting bit over here is that the healthcare sector was the one that was leading the decline. And then we have furniture and utilities. You're thinking Wayfair, R&H, Williams-Sonoma. They also took a hit, and particularly due to tariffs. So that's a very important point to mention over here, because we're still tracking how everything is affecting the markets in terms of the tariffs. Now, the good thing, though, is that there was NVIDIA that gained 1% on the day, which pretty much held kind of like a little bit of support for the indexes, because everything was falling. Everything was falling on the day over here. I think we had, yeah, definitely more declining versus advancing. So advancing only 29.6 and declining issues at 66.7% over here. So pretty much everything down, as you can see. But NVIDIA was keeping that support. So that's important. Why am I saying that? Well, because we have the earnings on Wednesday. We said that yesterday. We have the earnings on Wednesday, and the initial drop that we had for Bitcoin, for the stocks, for the indexes happened because we had news last week that investors are losing confidence in AI. So that needs to mean for you guys that on Wednesday, these earnings are going to be absolutely crucial for the overall market sentiment. Talking about overall market sentiment, you guys, besides whatever's happening right now, you still need to remember that the Fed had dovish tone, right? We had a Fed dovish tone from Fed Jeremy Powell, sparkling record highs in Dow, and we already had record highs in Nasdaq and S&P 500. So we need to remember that the sentiment is still overall bullish, and everyone is relying on the rate cuts, as we saw yesterday. Not going to pull the same chart 15,000 times this week, but we saw it. So However, we saw the sell-off yesterday, which is hinting that a caution is creeping in, especially with tariffs and inflation concerns, because we saw here that the utility sector took a massive hit, and that's important to note. It's due to tariffs. Again, we're waiting for the core PCE on Friday. Like we said, Wednesday, we have important news, NVIDIA earnings. Thursday, we're going to have the unemployment claim, prelim GDP, and then we have core PCE, which is the preferred inflation measure for the Fed. So that is extremely important. We need to keep track on all of this. Now, in terms of news, we don't have anything else, to be honest, in terms of news. So let's not waste more time on that. But the funny thing around here, you guys, that I want to show you is that the healthcare sector took a massive hit yesterday, right? And then I don't have the article, but I saw that on Twitter, Trump was saying that drugs in the United States are going to be repriced to like some crazy 1,500% lower, which was, you know, very interesting at the same day of the healthcare decline to that extent. So that's just something to note, something that I noted. Yes, you guys, make sure to hit that like button. How many people do we have? 35. Bless you, you guys. Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm drinking coffee today. Anyway, so we're gonna start here with Ethereum. So for anyone that didn't watch the live stream yesterday, well, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna repeat so many times that we were expecting for that move to occur over here to the upside, and then we wanted to couple up with ETH BTC for the sell, which pretty much worked out really well over here. So right now, one thing to note is actually, let's start with Bitcoin over here. Let's start with Bitcoin. So right, the important thing is there's few things that we need to keep in mind over here. First of all is that Bitcoin confirmed the bearish price action with this candle over here. So that is confirmed now. If we pull the extension on that, we can see that there is a very high chance for price dropping to around 105.4 at the very least. And by doing so, price is going to erase the liquidity that's left over here on a 4-hour time frame. On a 4-hour time frame, you can see the liquidity over here, down here. So that's important to note, that this is still on the table. However, today I'm not feeling that that's going to be the day, because price is trading at a daily support. So over here we have our daily support for Bitcoin, and it happens to also be the true week open in this exact same area. As you can see, both of them kind of like overlapped over here. This is the true week open and the daily support for Bitcoin. So soon as you see price dropping below and then rejecting from that area, right, this is a good signal for now, right? So for now, it is a good signal. The only red flag is the liquidity is so close by over here, and the closes are pretty bearish. So it's still a very dangerous buy, and it's not going to be too supported, because if you open the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see that the target is still to the downside. But there is one thing about this 4-hour time frame I'm going to tell you right now. So essentially, before we had this lower target down here, we had a different target, which is even lower over here. So that means that price is essentially starting to find some strength over here. Us creating this fractal candle, which, as you can see, is a fractal candle over here, means that price is potentially trying to find some strength. So that's another confluence for us over here, not to mention that we're still in the buy breaker block over here. So that's all potentiality for today for us to see a little bit more upside. Let's hope that that's gonna happen over here. Now, in terms of Ethereum, same thing. If you look on the 4-hour time frame, exactly the same thing. Before this candle turned into a fractal candle, as you can see, the target was way lower, which is essentially these relatively equal lows over here for Ethereum. So that is showing that price is starting to find some strength. And when you look at this price action over here, it is also pretty clear that price is trying to find support, because price is breaking levels, right, at a level of support over here. This is 1-hour support. It doesn't matter, it still counts. But it's not only 1-hour support. What else is it as well? Well, it's the true week open. So you have, I haven't marked it as true week open, whatever, but we can say true week open over here, capitals. So when you see areas overlapping like this with the help of the indicators, you guys, again, I'm not going to say 1000 times, just go in the description box and check the indicators for yourself and get them. Oh my God, what is this? What are these? Why are these ads so depressing? Anyway, so under the description box, you can find the link for the indicators, and there is a dedicated video on my YouTube channel where you can understand how you can utilize those indicators. And of course, the Discord link is down here if you want to join Discord for my daily updates, so you're always ahead of the curve. And if you want to get a VIP role on Discord, all you need to do is register with my Bluffin link over here, where you can, by the way, get $100 refund. If you make any losses under my link, you get $100 refund for that. So you can use it for the VIP access, and also you can use it to trade. And by the way, this is the only non-KYC exchange that I trust. I just want to make clear that that's the case over here. Okay, cool. So Ethereum, right? True week open. Yes, true month open is below it. But for these kind of things, I like to utilize Bitcoin rather than Ethereum, because the concepts of like true weeks and true months is more of a TradFi thing, right? So you want the asset to be a little bit more in that category to some extent. So important is over here on the 1 hour time frame. You have some sort of support, which is over here, coming from over here, which was created in 22nd of August. And then you're having the true week open that price is clearly rejecting and wants to break through. So that's important to note over here for Ethereum, that it could be an update today. I know it looks very scary and it looks like not so certain, but this is what price is telling me at the moment. However, if we look on the higher time frame, like we discussed already, the daily for Ethereum is confirmed that we're going to see a little bit of a bearish price action. But I want to remind you that the daily confirmed bearish price action also down here, right? So we have essentially two confirmations for daily breaking bearish points over here, but one has failed over here. So the second one could fail as well, if that's the case. So if that's the case, if the dailies are failing, our confirmation, like a true confirmation for a little bit of a, more serious pullback on Ethereum over here, I would consider the weekly time frame, right? The weekly time frame. So over here, if this week closes bearish, I wouldn't mind that at all, because we need a bearish candle over here for us to confirm, for us to get a little bit more confidence on whether we want to short or whether we want to long a little bit long term. So any bearish weekly candles are actually welcome, and that means that price could go up to, I don't know, 4,748 and still be a bearish candle with a big wick. It is still going to count as a bearish candle. So that's just going to help us, because if price continues up like this from next week, for example, let's say this is an example. If price continues up from next week, and then we start seeing body closes on a weekly candle below a specific point within that bearish candle, that is going to be a massive confirmation for a bigger, huger retrace on Ethereum. So that's why we do need these bearish candles. We really need them. But within that intraday, why not trade when you see a bullish setup? Like, this is what I don't understand. Because think about it. We have only few months left out of this bull run. We have, what is it? We have September, October, November, December, and January into February. It's all going to be finished. And then what? So we need to literally make use of every discount we take right now, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Are you stressed out? Would you buy right now, or are you like super stressed out to do it and you think that there is more downside? Because like we've calculated, right? If the daily time frame is for realsies, if it's for realsies, like going to give us some more downside, that would potentially mean that we might come over here. Mark Bass is very stressed. Oh, well, right? So potentially we might see Ethereum like $4,000, 4,070, 3,998. So that's the deviation away if this is a true move to the downside according to the daily. This is what we could see. You know, it's totally possible and it's real. Philip Jr., it's uncertain, waiting more. I entered on the bows on algo mix one. Yeah, so I'm also long in few alts over here. More of a scalping sort of situation, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it till today. It's all going to depend on how price is acting right now. But if we look at Solana, right, Solana does not have any bearish confirmation as of yet, even on a daily time frame. So essentially, right, within this price range on Solana, also look at that, it's the 0.5 of the price range. In a bullish market, what are you going to do from the 0.5? Well, you're going to be expecting to buy, you're going to be expecting to purchase. Not to mention the order block that we have left over here. This one. This is a buy order block over here. So, okay, fine. So price is tapping into a buy order block, right? Coming into a zone of 0.5 of the price range. I don't see any reason why I should not buy over here. In my opinion, technically, this is what I do in that sort of scenario. And the thing is, just like we caught the buy on Ethereum several times, you guys need to understand that you always need to be looking out for the pain trade. What is the pain trade today? Is it going to hurt if I enter long right now? Am I going to be feeling scared, feeling that I'm doing the wrong thing? Or am I going to be doing the wrong thing if I enter short? Which one is the pain trade at the moment? A mix one, I'm a swing trader, yeah. Mr. Vane is here. USDT and stable coins. Okay. Charts are very bad. Also the total charts. I mean, if I'm looking at the total 3 over here, for example, we're still in the buy zone. Yeah, we have support on the daily down here. Right, at 951 billion over here. One buy zone already mitigated, second buy zone already mitigated. It doesn't necessarily look so darn bad. Like, it was looking bad over here when we took that liquidity on a super duper high time frame. Right, so once we smashed that liquidity, that was looking bad. To enter a short, you would have had a huge stop loss in comparison to if you went long at the moment. Yeah, that is also true. That is also true. But yeah, for me, this is what's happening right now. For today, essentially, it could be actually such a big move, in my opinion. I don't want to I'm also uncertain. I don't know if it's gonna work out or not. But if it works out, it could be a quite substantial gain, actually, to either continue to the downside or do whatever. Because if we're looking at Bitcoin right now, we essentially, okay, we broke structure to the downside. It's now confirmed. Okay, it's very much confirmed. But I don't think, even if we get a second leg down, I don't think it's gonna be a body close. I think it's most likely to be like a wick sort of situation over here. Yeah. What should we look at? Let's look at CRV, because CRV went down like crazy. Everything is at zones, you guys. This is what I've been see. CRV as well. CRV is literally at the 0.5% of our price leg. Okay, not entirely tapped, but it's in the zone. So what more can you actually essentially hope for, right? What more can you hope for over here? Yes, price is coming back from the 0.236. That is correct. Price is 0.786. So we've reached the 0.786. That's a massive sell zone. We all should know that by now, who are watching my live streams over here. You know the range model theory. If you don't know the range model theory, come and register for the wait course, for the wait list for the course, you guys, because I'm almost done. In September, I'm going to start the sales and I'm going to run them for only 2 weeks. And then whoever buys, buys. And then after that, the prices are going to be higher. So register for the wait list so you can get notified when you can buy it on discount as part of the wait list. And if you're not part of the wait list, you're not going to get it. So yeah, basically in a bullish market, right, I would expect CRV to hold the 0.5 over here. This is what I want to see. I want to see CRV holding the 0.5. If it doesn't hold the 0.5, then that would essentially mean that price could drop even further down. So do we want to see that? Because the downside over here, it's substantial actually, right? If that happens, 17, 20%, like, you know, it's crazy. We don't want to see that happening. We're still in a bull market. We have to see that high taken over here. So this is what we do. We buy from an extreme cheap zone, which is the 0.236, take profit at 0.5, retrace, find an entry, or hold, whatever you want to do, or hold. And then 0.786, you definitely sell a little bit from the position, because 0.786 is always a sell zone. It will always be a premium zone. It will always be a premium zone. But once it reaches the 0.5, price needs to reject from here. So that is going to reassure us that we're going to get higher prices above 1.3 on CRV, which essentially, fundamentally, we expect. So price needs to act like that. Yes. BlackRock bought a small bag of Imagine Network. It's an AI coin. Well, this is it. So if BlackRock is buying AI coins and you're having the AI earnings coming in tomorrow, well, that potentially mean that we might get some sort of, you know, good sentiment tomorrow. Right? This is what it could mean. Let's have a look at Bitcoin over here. Yeah, so price literally needs to reject from the 3-week open over here. We have confirmation even on the 1-hour time frame for the long. So it's gonna be, in my opinion, it's gonna be fine, right? Can price reject at the daily support over here, 111,000, and then set another leg low? Absolutely. But yeah, sorry for the non-trading question. Where's your accent from? My accent is from like probably 5 countries. I studied and lived in like many countries. So I have Dutch accent, German accent, Bulgarian accent. I'm missing something. I don't know. I wouldn't say British, but maybe some of the words I use. I'm just trying to think. Am I missing? I'm probably missing a country over here. Ja. Ik kan Nederlands praten. Niet zoveel, maar... No, my Dutch is alright. My Dutch is alright. It's just I don't practice it that much. But yeah. Leuk. Yeah, heel leuk. Okay, so that's it. We're having fun over here. But yeah, the bias for today is bullish. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. I'm not going to tell you what to go and buy, but like this is your decision. But everything is at buy zones. Maybe not entirely, right? Maybe not entirely. because if you see, like, even ENA hasn't touched really the buy zone, so we haven't really had a tap. We're away from it, like literally 0.5% from the bottom, and then from the top of this candle, like 4%, and from the current price action, 2.8%. That's just for you to understand how to calculate leverage in case you want to get in. But the thing is, right, ENA is not entirely at levels. What else did we look at? We looked at CRV as well. CRV almost at levels, right? Almost at the 0.5 over here, but not entirely touched the zone. So that's here. There you go. You have two alts that are telling you, yeah, we might or we might not, right? But it's a good shot in my opinion, so that's why I'm long. But you guys do you. And also, like we said, Solana, if you look at Solana, same thing, guys, literally the same thing over and over again. We're having it over here, 184.66. It's the 0.5 of the price range of Solana, so we haven't really tapped into it. So Tao, I'm from New Zealand, but everyone confuses me with Australia. Yeah, Diamond Eyes, let's focus on risk management. Yeah, we have to, honestly. So I'm gonna actually, from 1st of September, I'm gonna introduce to you some other tools that you can use so you don't stress out entirely and solely with day trading, which is going to be pretty cool. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. La 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 la. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance is playing by whatever we were hoping. We were expecting for price to come up over here, so that's what it's doing. The only thing we need to hope for is that it you know, it doesn't come all the way up here. Also a possibility, of course. Let's have a look at USDT dominance here on the daily. Yeah, from the daily support over here at 4.17, price shot up. Price shot up. And we're now again in the sell zone. So not too bad, you guys. Honestly, not too bad. Because look at the sell zone. Look at the sell zone. We're not breaking the sell zone. Yeah, price is going back into it, but it is a sell zone. We have an order block and we're at 0.786, which is a premium zone from which you want to be selling, essentially USDT dominance. So, all right, this might be good. This might be good. Hi, Mr. Arpad, BNB. Yeah, we're gonna look at BNB. BNB's been doing quite nicely. It's one of my favorites, actually. Daily, weekly. Well, what can we say? Like when we were trading at 700, then 800 was inevitable. Let's have a look here. Daily time frame. Yeah, I mean, what are you interested to know? Like, you want to buy it, or because if you want to buy it, it is at a buy zone right now. It is clearly at a buy zone over here. Let's have a look. Mini buy zone, mitigated buy zone, sell order block, that's now a buy breaker block over here. Buy breaker block. So essentially you have two zones overlapping over here that price needs to hold. Are you looking at coins like SPX? Not really. Sometimes. Yeah, so over here, basically last time when I looked at this coin, what I was trying to tell you guys, this line over here is that this is where price is supposed to sell off from, because that's you know, here we got a confirmation for short on that. So that was, I guess, a few weeks back. But yeah, that's the analysis for this. Let's have a look. It's very imperative for this candle, weekly candle, to reverse right now, because if it doesn't reverse, this might see bigger downside. For now, it's kind of chill. It's very chill. But this candle on S&P, SPX 6900, it needs to switch to bullish this week at some point. Even if it wants to drop a little bit more, that's fine, but as long as it closes above, I'll show you the levels over here. So essentially you're looking at this level, which is $1.3. You want this coin this week to close above $1.3, and if it doesn't, you're in trouble, in my opinion. So BlackRock also bought 104k worth of SPX recently. Okay, well, if that's true, then potentially this candle is really going to turn bullish this week, right? Because this is a signal for me. If this candle closes bearish, not good. Heavenly, out season after today. I agree, mate. Honestly, like, I think what's going to happen is, like, a lot of people are going to get shaken out, which is exactly what they want. And then we're going to get some crazy moves, and everyone will be, like, left behind. That's how I see it. Hi, when you go long or short, Daph, if you want to understand when I go long or short, you have to come on Discord, right? You have to come on Discord. Come under the description box of this video, and you can join Discord. And in order for you to have access to the VIP, you need to be trading on Bluffin over here. The link is above. When you come on Discord, there is instructions on how you can get the VIP. And also, Bluffin is a non-KYC exchange, first. Second, it has the best liquidity out of all non-KYC exchanges. I don't care whoever says what, they're lying. Guys, make sure you like the video. I don't know how many likes we have, but it's not enough. We have 61 people over here. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Bluffin has the best liquidity in the non-KYC market. Do you guys understand? That means better fills, your capital is safe, no glitches, no shutting down the system like Bitunix or whatever, no hacks, you guys. Honestly, I've been only trading with Bluffin so far in my career, I'm telling you. Here you have promo. Under my link, you're getting $100 refund if you get any loss on, like, Ethereum, Solana, or Bitcoin, I think. But you're gonna see on the link, and you can use that to enter the VIP section in my Discord. It's really that simple. So yeah, for anyone that's interested in this meme, SPX 6900, it is imperative, I'm repeating, for price to close above $1.3 this week. If it doesn't, then that's going to be a massive red flag, which I honestly don't even want to think about right now. I want to see optimism over here. 4-hour time frame. Ultimate buy zone again. Like, you know, everything is trading at buy zones right now. Optimism at buy zone. Yes, price could potentially retrace a little bit more, but who cares? Honestly, if it's in a buy zone, it is a massive discount situation over here, right? Look at that. On a 12-hour time frame, up, double liquidity formation. You have just cleared one side of the liquidity. You guys, the ones that have been with me for a while, you know very well what a double liquidity formation means. Price comes, takes one side and comes for the other. Get the indicators. They're under the description box. Just get them, you guys. Honestly, they're like so cheap. So yeah, double liquidity. You've smashed the first side of the liquidity over here. Yes, you can come back and retest again the price, but ultimately you know that the second liquidity is going to be the target. So optimism from here to the other liquidity. Let's see how much gain is that. Almost 30%. Almost 30%. Not to mention that we also have liquidity above that on optimism, 0.93. So question, what is everyone's favorite time frame for entries? Mix one, your questions are quite interesting. So, you know, I personally don't have a favorite time frame. I analyze on specific time frames. I analyze on a weekly, daily, 12-hourly is my time frame. My guys know that I use that. 4-hour time frames. And honestly, guys, if you're new here, we obviously don't know each other that well, but if you come on Discord, I get very close with pretty much all of the people that are active on Discord. I know a lot about them, their living, you know, situation or their families. You know, we share about our pets and stuff like that. It's actually quite cool. So make sure you join Discord. But yeah, everything's on discount. That's my opinion, right? We also have to be wary that September is what? September is usually a weak month. But again, this week we have massive earnings. So we're going to be following that very closely to make sure that Nvidia is doing well, you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. Keep your heads up. Don't get scared. I'll see you tomorrow.